clips real fast, and then we're going to get her up and have a conversation about a few things that's going to be coming up here.
I'm curious about who was the narrative and how often have you told that narrative to yourself and rehearsed it to yourself over and over and over again? What it is like you when you're telling yourself a different story. Hi, this is Darren Nicholson, actor, author, speaker, and welcome to No More Change. It's time to change. This is where we do release, let go, unfold. Anything that doesn't represent you and your life. It's time to change. You can do it today, right now, and right. There's so much in your documents that can assist so you can help yourself.
All right, yes, beautiful, beautiful. So what you just seen is a clip from No More Change Part 2, and she definitely have No More Change 1 to that, as well as the book, collaboration projects that's going on. So but I have one more clip, and this is really interesting because I saw this a little later after he did it. But let's go to that clip here in just a second. I'm going to bring up.
And a lot of them are those activities and values from our past. People are like, yes, because he's very raw and authentic, and also we need it for the food to help our people release their things. Yeah. What did you two enjoy most by working together?
Oh man, I think we discovered each other on Instagram, and she allowed me to participate in one of her motivational speaking events.
All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So let me just, bring the sister up live here. Let me just say that I've known her for several years. Consider her a friend, and she's doing some phenomenal work. She's from the West Coast by training, West Side represent, but now making her way in the DMV area and doing some amazing work in ATL in Atlanta. But she's a business coach, publisher of CEO Publishing, as well as a film producer and author of several books. She's doing for a lot of events as well, and well as getting people paid, profit, promotion, workshops as well. So let me bring our sister. Let me make sure we got the video. That was a little. Let me make sure we got happen. Can you see me, Ari? Okay, unmute. If it's muted, let's make sure. We got you? No. Now I got you. Okay, all right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I don't know if you saw those two clips, and you have several others, but you're doing some amazing work. But coming from your background and being a Howard alumni, let's shout out to Real HU, where you studied film work, and was it television, or was it film and television, or journalism? Which one? Right. I know another sister, she took that same track and did something else. So she was explaining the different tracks that people can take in that. So, you've done some amazing work, with your profit conferences, and you're going to be at the Power Networking Conference with your push planners. So let's just open up in terms of, your background, what inspired you. Let me just, open with what inspired you to, work with women, of course, not just women, but, and going into the wealth building arenas that you've been branching off to, and all these amazing people you surround yourself with.
Yeah, you know what it's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like us as young people, we kind of miss the mark on becoming educators, getting the knowledge and entrepreneurship, the knowledge of your wealth, the knowledge of touchdown. That's not the time to do it. I feel like we are not slacking in that area. The building now has grown. I'm so thankful for that. But I just feel like it's important for us to start educating ourselves more. And the information is there for us to receive.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like it's my purpose, my sole purpose is to help people release those mental, those emotional, and generational things that have held us back for too long. It's time to change. And so I created these workshops and films and working with individually to help them create wealth and get ourselves into the 1% income earners in the world, because it's possible, especially now with the way businesses being done. There's so much opportunity for us. So what I'm trying to do is just honestly just change and change and help our people change. It's not really for growth. That's it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Appreciate you, sharing that, opening up with that. And, it's critical for us to network and, connect with individuals who have, paved the way of sorts. I saw you post something about the top hip hop earners. I didn't know that. I want, I wanted to say something to you. I didn't know that. What's the rapper from the West Coast? Um, Lamar.
Oh, can you come on?
I didn't know he had that much like money for real.
Come on, share it.
Yeah, like I ain't gonna say he came out of nowhere. See, because sometimes we think that people that we see spring up or something, we think that they weren't doing stuff at first, right? But they've been toiling for years and years and years. So
That's why you do about it. I'm familiar with that in myself. People look at our success now and think that it was overnight. And I've been entrepreneur for 20 years.
wow,
This long, so I'm close to seeing my first move over 20 years.
wow.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, no overnight success.
Absolutely. So that's a blessing. So you interesting that you started, for those that may not know your total story, and we don't have to go that far, but you started doing a dance studio, right? And so it just and you say that you didn't have any like dance experience. So right. So share how, just take a second to share, how individual, how you saw an opportunity and you recognize the need to connect to young women, so you utilize dance as a form of first and foremost.
Yeah, that's really what it was. I just had this entrepreneur mindset too, and how can I create something? How can I solve a problem for a marketplace that needs or wants something really, really bad, right? It's going to bring a lot of value. And so at that time, this was back in 2003, I believe, 2003. I moved from Sacramento, California to get away from my environment, which is struggle and hanging around the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
And I came here to DCA and I moved to Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is way out and there's nothing out here. I love it here.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not much going on here in the community comparing it to the big city of Sacramento right now.
Right.
And so I saw that there was nothing there was nothing of culture here. They had these dance schools, they had these dance schools creating, hip hop and jazz, but it was not really hip hop and jazz, not the hip hop and jazz that you and I know. But I started moving, so I just hired some high school and college students to knew how to dance.
Mm.
I know how to dance, I still don't know how to dance. I could trick one,
Right. That's just yeah. So coming up here, and it was good to see you. Blessings to see you at the, with Stedman in Baltimore. He came and he'll be back this coming Saturday. So, I'm gonna be there for that for a couple of minutes. But you actually have, worked with Stedman Graham, not the real Stedman. Yeah, so you've done some work. First, you've done something, and I think we have the flyer for what you have. But you had him in D.C. a couple months ago, and then you're going to be doing something with him again in in Atlanta. So how did you make that connection? If people may want to know, and we got the flyer up there that people can see. That's in October the 31st, Atlanta.
I just, how you just want to connect with somebody. I have heard him speak twice before.
Okay.
And he did have time to one and Los Angeles and DC. And I was like, wow, people don't realize how powerful TV is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we think that's what his little boyfriend. Well, no, he's Oprah.
Yeah.
He talked to her grandmother.
Right. Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, he has helped her community as like he does in several other Fortune 590 countries.
Mm-hmm.
With what he was talking about, leadership and monetization. And so I just knew that before my brother Eddie picking me up,
Mm-hmm.
this build up, right? We didn't have to really have it.
Right.
I reached, when I reached out, he checked me out. We have a mutual acquaintance. I know some other people that he does business with, and he asked me about me and said great things, and we just formed this liking of each other. He loved the movement of helping people reach their dreams and women overcome their obstacles that they can create financial success. He loved that. When he came to my event in DC in February, he was just like blown away. He was like, you are powerful. And whatever I can do to help you, I want to help. And so 2 months or a month after we agreed, he texted me. He called me. Just after this, he called me. I was thinking about you and what you're doing, and I wanted to work together again. How can you make that happen?
Wow. Oh, that's bad. You still out this thing? You at this Power Networking Conference, your push planner. So, I mean, people just love it. So, explain what your push planner is. A planner, it's a planner, but it's more than a planner. Let me just mention that. So, just share with the audience what the push planner is.
Yeah, well, the push planner is something that's really created by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. And it's the only planner on the market that actually helps you plan for your business success.
Mm-hmm.
So it's push planning, it has goal planning, it helps you redefine what success is. It has marketing strategies, pocket planning strategy, it helps you compare quarter by quarter and break down your goals into small pieces that you actually achieve them. So it's like not a life planner that has all these stickers and people flowers and all that stuff. It's about business, about achieving those daily goals 6 months ago. And so I love it. And I think that this conference, well, not conference, but Power Networking Conference, which I'm excited. I have some there, but of course people can focus on the push plan.net. It's a great tool I think every entrepreneur needs to have, right there.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to getting my copy of that. So yes, it's definitely an amazing tool. So you'll have some at the Power Networking Conference. And let me just say, I have Dr. George C. Fraser's book, Success Runs in Our Race, right here. Definitely have a few more of those, and of course, Power Networking. Dr. Claude Anderson, who will be in town this weekend as well. So I'm looking forward to that, and I see that you continue to expand and just connect to people. So you've heard of Dr. Claude Anderson as well, right, sis? Mm-hmm. Right. Awesome. Beautiful. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Always, you have your pieces to the puzzle, and it's like, man, this is this is a good analysis of the historic global wealth. You know, I mean, he has some phenomenal parts in there that's like, wow. Oh, thank you. Okay. Right. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate that, sis. Thank you very much. See, and that's where it's kind of like you gotta. I try to be familiar with a lot of different gurus that are out here, and it's like some of the depth, the real depth of the knowledge. You know, you may not be able to put it all together at one time, but it's like, all right, I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm gonna use it when the proper sequence of events happen, and I'm in position to execute. But you know, it's just a blessing to have known Dr. Anderson for some time, and Brother James Klingman. That's another brother. He'll be honored there this weekend. So I just had to be there for that. But so so share with the listeners first. I mean, you have several books. So talk before we get to your films. Several of your books. I mean, they're really good work. I think I have all of them. So share, some of the books that you put together. I think you started first with your books, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Man, I didn't know. I didn't know that. No, I don't have all of them. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. So, and then you found the need to, as you're speaking, and you realized that you needed to have a book that would assist with that, but to help others. So that's when you felt the need to start your CEO publishing, correct? Right. Yes. Yes. Wow. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Absolutely. Now, yeah. So, and it's amazing how sometimes things that you worked on 10, 15, 20 years ago, they come back and come to pass. So you went to school for film, right? And I heard you I don't rather, because I had you do two things. Had you at Bowie, and then at the Toastmasters partnership with the, what was that, the Urban League event that we had. They have an institute there, if I'm not mistaken. But you mentioned how that was your passion at one time, the films, and you knew that you would eventually get back towards that. So how has your school knowledge differed, for instance, because many people go to school. I saw you post one time as well. Somebody said, did anybody, what do you use your degree in? And you just you said, I use my degree for, films. And so now you have two films out. Uh, so in terms of, just the publishing and now, just having these Hollywood level people in your films, um, what are you seeing like in terms of the progression, and talk about both of your films as well.
Fast progression, you always have to, one of my mental fast progression goals is just creating content.
Mm.
We're going to grow,
Mm.
you can just keep putting out content already. I said, okay, so that's
Yes.
what we do.
Yes.
Content and learning about what film and television production has always been my age. Since a little girl, I used to write scripts and plays.
Wow.
I just like telling stories, I like
Mm-hmm.
put my dance school. That was my gift. My recitals weren't very recited. They were full-out productions.
Ah.
Taking people through a journey of stories, from song music and dance, right?
Mm.
This has always been my passion. I knew one day I would get back to it. I was afraid, I was afraid of, it seemed so hard, it seemed so expensive. A lot of black filmmakers groups are hurting as well.
Mm-hmm.
People raising money. It's just timing, but I can never give up on this dream.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking, keep your eyes open, stay woke for the right opportunity to come along. So I just saw this opportunity, and I just reached out to some celebrities that I felt that, tied into the mission that I wanted to put out there in the world. And they said yes, and I'm still doing that. I'm still, getting myself out there because unfortunately it does take a name sometimes for a really powerful vision for the person to get their eyes on it and the recognition that it really is. But I just been just working, just putting the work in. But I love my films. My films are really about sharing stories of people who have overcome the odds. Working on my third right now and starting to write scripts for my first feature film.
Oh, wow.
They're titled Father's Day. So it's about a young man who is kind of like this dad for that kind of the young man who's trying to find himself and working out his real father experiences and his stepfather experiences. And there's two totally experiences.
Wow. Wow.
One's black and one's white. So it's going to be really, really good.
Oh, wow. 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 That sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. And it's good that you said how you understand the lessons, and yeah, I mean, now that's, yeah.
So you have a selection attached to it, and yeah, it's so unfortunate.
Right.
That's just how it is. And eventually, your daddy is well, and then you want to use that.
Right.
I was like, kiss on the mouth, like I love
Right.
love her.
Okay. You see it? Okay. Oh, well, you switched it up. Okay. Yeah. No. And I know you seen this recent film that she did, the When They See Us.
Oh, yeah, I watched the play.
Oh, wow. Yeah. My gosh. Yeah. I tell you, and I just saw it maybe 2 days ago. Of course, listened to all the reviews, and a lot of people saying I don't want to see it, but it just showed the power of how films can be utilized to create change, because now the prosecutor, and I'm no digressing, but it's a good digression. The prosecutor was had to step down from several boards. So, and that's just the power of social pressure and influence, and that's what I think about, and that just goes to show that that filmmakers do have a voice, and you can utilize that voice to influence public opinion on a massive level. So, you add that consciousness to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the goal. When they were able to You know, I like what Amy Dillon said. She just wants to tell powerful, unique stories of Black and brown people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we're the only ones that do. That's how we get to tell our stories. Because they'll put, you know, they just don't portray us in the way that we really are. And that's how, like you say, put the conscious message out there that's actually going to be changing our community. So we have to do it as Black women. It's our responsibility. And that's
Mm-hmm.
working on doing. That's what I'm doing.
Right. Wow. Yeah, that's beautiful. And one more thing, I was just like, I was listening. I was like, is this Dead Prayers she playing? Like, you familiar with Dead Prayers? Like the. Oh, of course. Right, right. I know, right, right. Yeah, no. So I was just like, oh man, this sister. I'm like, oh gosh, she done play some Dead Prayers on them, like for real in the film. Like, okay, plant no seeds, plant no seeds. But that was dope that she did that. So yeah, this will be your second time, certainly at the Power Networking Conference, but you do your own as well. And you've done, I attended the Las Vegas conference, and that was just, phenomenal to attend that, and it's well attended, of course, and just quality people, and that's sometimes not always. I always tell people think it's about having 10,000 people standing up in a room. I'm like, look, I mean, you can get a lot done with 50 or 100 people. Don't think, that you need a bunch of people coming up, because some of them just getting in the way anyway. But having the right people that's ready to go to another level, that certainly is impressive. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, a lot of events is like another thing that is so consistent, that I've been doing for a long time. My feeling society, even when I live in California, co-hosting, events, poetry events,
Ah,
comedy shows, things like that. I just love to bring people together.
yeah.
But a lot of events, conferences I'm no longer doing as of right now.
Okay.
Because I realized that the work that I'm doing with my coaching practice, I don't need to get conference to bring on new clients.
Right, right.
That I'm doing, the position that I'm doing, they come to me. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't always like that. So now what I'm doing is more one day training events. So the events that I'm doing in Atlanta with Stedman,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully in Sandy or PI, someone to also come on. It's called the Self Mastery Success Summit. And so after that, we're going to do the economic mastery success summit. So I'm going to be doing these one day Zoom trips, anywhere from 100 to 300 people in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why it's hard is because I'm doing them in theater, because I want to, Black people love to be entertained.
Yes.
Right? And so I'm mixing the entertainment with the education so I take them on this journey of mastering themselves and mastering their money and mastering their relationships and mastering their businesses. So that's what I'm doing now. So that entrepreneur, that people in here, we have to, pivot, we have to grow, we have to transform. I'm in that space right now. I've been doing my leadership conferences since 2013, and I'm just ready for something different.
Yes.
It's great. I don't want to do the 3 day conferences anymore. It's just too much, not a possibility.
Right. Yeah, yeah, and that's where, and that's why, I always respect your work. You're a real entrepreneur that's always thinking, always evaluating, and always growing and changing up. And that's where sometimes people get stuck in, this is how I used to do it, this is how I made money, and, and this is where, where my brand, people think my brand is, and and that's a blessing that how you've been able to shift, make those shifts, and and I see where you've been, and what you're doing, and the quality of films, and I'm looking forward to the next film that you're going to be doing. So. Anything else you wanted to add on or discuss? I think I kind of had a good core. We talked about your books, your films, the Stedman thing, and your conferences.
Yeah, outside of what I'm doing, I'm always about helping kids,
Mm-hmm.
remind people. We get so tired of the celebrities. We get so tired of the gossip. All the things that don't matter.
Right.
And I want you guys to just pay attention to how many times they're clicking on a celebrity story, how many times they're clicking on, what Jeffrey or Kim Kardashian is doing. But how irrelevant it is to us as a community.
Yes.
And really start clicking on those four stories that are talking about millions and billions
Amen.
of philanthropic efforts and find out what they read their stories. Those stories are a lot more invaluable than celebrity gossip.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's sad I even have to say this, but we do. The world that we live in, we're drawn to entertainment. So I'm not saying don't be entertained, I'm not saying don't go to movies, and don't dive into it a little bit, but don't be consumed with it. Be consumed with learning, getting your education, getting around people like Haki, getting around coming to events like mine, where there's people that are really true like mindset, really focused on how to make it okay. Just be more mindful of what you're seeing.
Absolutely, and that's very important. That's very important, and rather recently, I know that I've been, kind of having my hands in some things, and and I'm just sitting to myself, thinking like, man, I've been kind of connected to George Frazier and Les Brown, and several other yourself and several other amazing people, and I'm like, I'm reading these books. I'm like, I can't afford to spend my time, and my money, like, with individuals who aren't even, like, considerate or even interested in, showing up for some of these people and places. And it's like, because if we, and I know we want to be about community and everything, but we can't, uh, we have to utilize our time in the most effective way, as you said. I mean, we're trying to get free, right? That's our mission. And, if somebody else are not trying to get free or demonstrate some levels of intellectual freedom, let alone physical and economic freedom, but first, the wealth begins in your mind and in your actions, right? So, you got to already be thinking big, thinking bigger than what, people perceive your so-called credentials, where people perceive where you were 15 years ago, or when you were a young child, or where you were 5 years ago, or even a week ago, or even yesterday, huh? So, I tell people, sometimes I just wake up and I'm just like, I'm a different person. Like, don't, I mean, like, I'm just different. I read something different. I talked to somebody. I got invited to an event with Stedman Graham, personally selected. I got invited for a reason, Ari, right? Just like you get invited to. Yes. Right. Exactly. Yeah. And I say that sometimes those seeds get planted 5, 10, 15 years ago. Like the sister there, I knew her from, my God, 15, 16 years ago. And she just saw me over time, and saw me at, another event, and she was like, you need to be here. So I was just like, oh, thank you. Yeah, and I appreciate that. And so it just go to show that, sometimes, you may not be thinking that, things are happening quick enough for you or fast enough. But if you stay, in intellectual motion and showing up at the right place, you got to put yourself in a position to win, right? You got to put yourself, huh? Yes. Right. Go to the wealthy people. Yeah. Right. Right. I mean, people are busy. People are busy. We realize that, and I know there's a give and take with individuals who have extraordinary amount of wealth, like a Stedman. Like even when I introduced, I don't know Stedman. You know him. I was just happy to be there. I was like, "How you doing? How you doing?" I didn't want to talk him to death. Just let me just get a picture with him right now. There are other people there who I'm happy to begin the process to work with because I know that they connected to him already. I don't need to be connected to him like I'm connected to you. I know you have that connection, and I'm like, I'm just gonna, we gonna, that tribe factor, building that tribe of successful thinking people that want to do better for ourselves and for our community. So, yeah, yeah.
I'm all about that.
Yeah. Oh, and definitely. And so with you, and I'm happy that you're going to the Power Networking Conference. I mean, every time like a conference like this, as it go into a new city or town, there's a rush of people that come out even just for curiosity, because it happened here with the first time that it was here, and you were there. You were here for the Power Networking Conference, so you'll see people that you recognize there that saw you there the last time, but I certainly plan for a lot of Houstonites. So yeah, we're going to the Houston Power Networking Conference. Damon John will be present there of Shark Tank. You met him before?
No, but I'm friends with the kids in Houston.
Oh, okay. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Well, yeah, what they call it, 6 degrees of separation. I knew you knew somebody. Right, you've been to several of these conferences. So it's kind of like just, everybody start seeing the same people if you are wise enough, ready enough, and you prepared yourself in your life to have the consciousness to show up. And that's why, sometimes I had to leave some different groups alone. Like, I mean, in Baltimore, I was like, the Power Networking Conference was an hour away. Like, I mean, and these people talking about they entrepreneurs and they want to grow and do all this. I'm like, man, like, even if you can't go, put together with some of your group and peers to send some young people. I'm trying to tell some black men groups this, and it went over their heads. I'm like, man, y'all playing. We playing. Mike Roberts, CEO. He was at one time he was like the third black billionaire, like under Oprah and I think Robert Johnson. He was number 3. Like he's there a few times each year. Every year I've been, he's been there. So I'm like, I mean, it ain't no like slouches here. So I mean, like, come on now. Anytime you get the chance to be somewhere with someone like that, like, I just feel like when Mike Roberts talk, every other ear should be listening, right? Yeah, yeah. No, so all right, so let's give out some of your contact information and any other pertinent information you think should be good given right now to the listening audience that's coming up here. Well, in the next few weeks, days, and anywhere you're going to be.
Yeah, well, mainly right now I'm really focusing on my self-mastery stuff from it. We have people coming in from all over the country. You don't have to live in a family section.
Right.
All over. You have the opportunity to sit in a lunch mastermind, Mr. Brown.
Yes.
And talk to whatever your business sounds really, make a connection and build a relationship. Like you said earlier, sometimes it's about being in the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the opportunity to get connected. People know from myself, you can actually extend your number, it's very helpful. You just never know what can happen. And so I'm confident that after more people are reaching joining as well very soon. So you can just go to arisquires.com and apply. Because I'm very particular about talking about people in the room, this particular room, you have to apply. You just can't go to my website and apply. So you actually have to talk to someone from my team.
Right.
It's kind of like therapy.
Yes.
To make sure that you're really ready, you're really hungry to change your life, your opportunities. And so it's a process, but so far AriSquires.com, or of course to, tap into me on social media. I am active. I love social media. It's a great place to connect. I do answer my own DMs most of the time. And just connect, and let's just continue to do it. But that's the main thing right now. So, gotta focus on one big thing at a time.
Right.
And then I'll be with my next film here coming in 2020.
Okay, 2020. So no more change 1, no more change 2, and coming up, no more change 3. And the feature is Father's Daddy. What is it?
Yeah, it's called Father's Day.
Father's Day. Ah, that's beautiful. So that's going to be released on Father's Day, right?
What time? What time is it? Father's Day 2021.
Okay, right. Yeah, only one thing at a time. So yeah, so it's a blessing, definitely. So I encourage everybody to get your books and get those films. They can watch the film online, right, for download.
Right now, coming to the first of July, you can download the first Normal Change film on NormalChangeFilms.com. No More Change 2, which is where Haki is featured in one of our extras, is at NormalChangeFilms.com, and we're going to have that download DVD available the first of July.
Okay, beautiful. Yes, I am featured in there, y'all. So you got to check that out. Everybody been asking, so I'm like, all right, well, let's see. All right, come on with it. Yeah, no, not to everybody else. Like, everybody. Oh, I wanna get it. Like, okay, all right, we'll see. All right, thank you. But no, I appreciate everybody. And so definitely the Power Networking Conference, everybody coming in Houston. Dr. George C. Fraser, this is his first book, Success Runs in Our Race. And Dr. Claude Anson will be in town this coming weekend. Stedman is going to be in Baltimore. So I'm just looking forward. I'm heading to the Black Enterprise Conference too tomorrow. You've been there, right?
Never.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted to go. So I'm just going one day this time. Since I'm doing the Power Network, I just want to look and see and do a comparative analysis of, just how they do things. You know what I'm saying? And it was in Charlotte, so I was like, all right, I can, I rocks with Charlotte. So I was like, I know you've done some things there as well, but so I just wanted to see how, who shows up. I mean, I saw that Don Peebles. You familiar with Don Peebles, right? Yeah. So yeah, let me tell you and your listening audience. Don Peebles, he was actually out of D.C. I know we're close, but he was actually out of D.C. But he had a book called The Peebles Principle. But he was one of the top real estate gurus in the country, actually. But Donahue Peebles is his full name. He was in the film 7 a.m. and I showed that film in Bowie as well as in Baltimore as well. But Donahue Peebles, I just saw him that he spoke there some years ago, but big time real estate. But he was one of the Marion Barry benefactors, you know what I'm saying? So when people talk about what Marion Barry did, like, I mean, he planted, he got some folks some serious money. So Donald Peebles, I think his net worth is like $700 million. So he's a big, guru. But another one I saw, and I know you know him, Byron Allen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he. Yeah, right. So he was there a few years. He was there a few years ago. So I saw some of the lists of who's gonna be there, but I was just like, whoever they are, I'll just see them, and I'll just go. And I have some associates there as well, so friends there that definitely want to connect with. So well, I definitely appreciate your time, sis, and I'm a super fan of Ari Squires. She's doing some phenomenal work, so I always got your back, trying to make it happen for you, whatever I can do. So we gonna ride to the top, no stop, from the west side to the east side, everywhere. So so definitely, so we gonna be in touch, sister. So appreciate you joining me, and I'll see you soon. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, see you soon. All right. So definitely thank everybody for tuning in. We have Ari Squires, business coach, author, publisher, film producers. So if you have some ideas, you want to reach out to this amazing sister, I definitely encourage you. She'll be with me, and we'll be, kind of make some things happen in Houston at the Power Networking Conference. Definitely one of the top, most well-attended, dopest conferences. According to Forbes magazine a few years ago, they said it was one of the top 5 conferences to attend. Dr. George C. Frazier, my co-author. I don't have, oh my gosh, I don't even have our book out. I have his book. But I co-authored a book with this amazing Dr. George C. Frazier, so I'm excited about going to a new area, Houston, Texas, and that's myself and Stedman Graham up at the top there. He'll be back in Baltimore this coming Saturday at the Reginald F. Lewis Museum. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'll be, multitasking. I got one thing Saturday with Stedman, and then at the Morgan State, of course, you heard attorney Martina Evans. She'll be having that youth entrepreneurial expo at Morgan from 9 till 4. So for those, that can't make it to the Stedman event, you still can go, to Morgan State. So definitely look out for that. Success Scholar, HAKI.com. I don't know if I have my person put that on the website, but definitely check both of those out. But coming up here, definitely check those out, as well as Power Talk 5 with Dr. Claude Anderson and Brother Klingman and many other amazing speakers. So definitely check me out on Instagram, Success Scholar, and Success Scholar 1 on Twitter. I'm always doing that. So definitely thank Ari Squires for joining me here. We're taking things to another level. She's doing an amazing job, and as you heard, she's close to her million. so she's definitely making some amazing things happen. So we're gonna continue to grow and go to another level. So I'm out, y'all. I'll be hitting the Charlotte this week. So I hope you're hearing me here, and then I'll head to the Power Networking Conference. So I'll be a little busy. So we out till next week. Peace.